What are you doing here? It hasn't been safe around here as of late.
Why don't you worry about who's robbing who, and leave me alone?
Don't wo- Hurry. Nothing gets past me.
Greetings. Why are you all covered in blood? What do you need?
What's the political situation in the city? I mean the politics of support for our side.
All in all, miserable. Bailiff Plymel is also on Sigismund's side, as is his son, who's so corrupt even Vava could envy him. And I tested the waters among the councillors, but it doesn't look good for us at the moment.
Who sits on the city council?
Franz Rosenthal and Andrew Polner. They're from the old and rich burgher families, just like us. Martin tried to negotiate some support from them, but as you may have heard, we didn't manage to win anyone over. They either have their interests connected with Sigismund, like Nars and the others, or they just don't want to commit themselves, so they don't lose their property and status. That's the only thing you can count on them for.
And what about Vavak? He sits on the council, and we've got him in our pocket, right?
He does, along with other representatives of the Italian court, and they'll do what he tells them. Except maybe Friedrich Kummel, but that doesn't matter. Vavak is a slimy bastard who'll sink us as soon as he gets the chance. So I'd like to count on him only when absolutely necessary, because as soon as he learns something he could exchange for a pardon from Sigismund for the crimes you've uncovered, he'll use it to untie his hands.
But they don't sit alone on the council. What about the others?
They don't. Then there are the representatives of the guilds, but to be honest, they don't have that much power, at least not for now. Compared to the old houses, the guild masters only quite recently acquired their positions on the council, so they probably won't risk losing them. But you're right that we might find support among them, especially by promising more council seats. The thing is, we're not yet in a position to fulfill such a promise, and they're well aware of that.
Thank you for filling me in on the local situation.
Well, there wasn't much positive in it, but you're welcome.
And what about the church? Couldn't it be turned around? You can see Sedlet's monastery from the city. The abbot must have some influence, doesn't he?
He does, and his relationship with the city is not the best. First of all, the abbot is burning through his property. The monastery's having financial difficulties, and all it can do is sell off its village properties. And who do you think is buying them up? The Kuttenberg burghers, first and foremost. Then there's a long-standing dispute over the manning of some churches, which goes back as far as I can remember.
Well, then how about promising... the abbot's support and getting him on our side? Promises cost nothing, right?
Ha ha! I see you're no newcomer to politics. But we hesitated with the abbot, and he decided to throw in his lot with Sigismund. In fact, he's given him accommodation, and is wining and dining him.
You're right, Sir Kinsman. It's a pity.
It is. I even wanted to donate them part of my library collection, which they've envied for years, but they can forget about that now.
I'm glad we took care of Vavat when they outnumbered us.
If the worst came to the worst, we'd have had to try. But otherwise, I agree with you. We saved the lives of my soldiers. After all, I've already fought my hardest.
How did you become a knight?
I paid for it. When Malashov was vacated, I bought that fortress. Well, first I negotiated with King Charles for permission. Then it was entered into the land register as my property, and my house became the Knights of Malashov. There were still some legal requirements surrounding it, but I won't bore you with those. But personally, I'm pleased that in the history of our house, it was me who managed to elevate it to the nobility.
You can simply buy a title? Just like that?
Definitely not just like that. But in a certain manner of speaking, you can, yes. It's not at all such an unusual... practice among rich burghers nowadays. In Prague, for example, there used to be the Rokitsan burgher family, and they bought Okorsh. That's a castle 3 times bigger than Malashov. It may also happen that some commoner lends the king a lot of money, and the king doesn't have the coin to pay back the debt. So he resolves it by pledging one of his castles. Nevertheless, the old nobility, such as Vavarak von Hradec, don't like it, and they despise us for it. They see us as upstarts without a proper ancient origin. But I think in a few... generations, if I ever marry Rosa off, that is, it won't make any difference anymore. We'll be established among the nobility, and all these injustices will be a thing of the past. I pray that my house will endure, and that my descendants will live to see it.
Well, enjoy your well-deserved spurs. May your house endure and prosper. If I may be so bold, can I ask what the hardest battle you mentioned was?
Not long ago, when Sigismund's army besieged Kuttenberg. Back then, I saw things differently than I do today. I'd been advocating parleying instead of armed resistance. I feared, and rightly so, that Sigismund would use it as an excuse to seize property. But I was in the minority, and even my son Venser was convinced of the opposite. We quarreled a lot over that. In the end, he told me that even though I had acquired noble status, my days of glory had faded. He wanted to prove the Knights of Malashov didn't wear spurs just for show, and that we'd earned the armored arm in our crest. When an opportunity arose to strike against the enemy, he rode out, despite me forbidding it. Or maybe because of it.
What happened next?
More importantly, what happened before? Some French knight appeared from God knows where. He said he was a renowned military leader and a personal friend of King Wenceslas, and that it was his sacred duty to defend the city. I no longer know why or how, but he was appointed commander of the city's defense. One of the first things he did was attack the huge trebuchets that were ruining our fortifications. It seems they were poorly defended, and when the Frenchman was putting together a cavalry unit to counterattack, my Venser joined. Only it was a trap, the oldest and most primitive trick, and our renowned French knight let himself get taken in. Of course, Sigismund, or whoever was in command, didn't leave his precious trebuchets unprotected. He had his own cavalry in reserve. When I learned where Venser had gone, I gathered my men and went to his aid. But when we arrived, it was all over, and there was nothing left for us to do but to collect the bodies of the fallen. Venser among them. So, you heard it. My hardest battle was the one in which I didn't even raise my weapon. But I won't make the same mistake a second time. It won't bring Venser back to me. But I'll defend what he tried to defend to my last breath. Our estates, our honor, and above all, our Rosa. God be with you.
Mind where you're going. What are you doing?
Slowly. Nice and slow.
I saw a land without end, all covered in sand, hot and dry. No, when's the dark time?
You shouldn't be walking around by yourself. Awful things happen.
What'll it be?
Service is kind of slow today.
My body is in need of rest and relaxation.
Certainly. My baths are at your service.
Do you have some pretty girl here who could, keep me company?
Don't worry. Once my girls get their hands on you, you'll forget all your sorrows. At least for a little while.
I can't wait.
Excellent. Pay up, and we can get started.
I'll gladly pay you.
Wonderful. You'll see. You'll be happy to come back here.
That second round was on the house. See you next time, handsome. What did I come here for? Oh well. Careful!
City tournament. What's an occasion, eh? Will you go?
I'll show you. I know it is spoiled. I feel awful.
Greetings to you.
Good day to you.
What can I do for you?
The Ruthard sent me.
What's that to do with me? Those days when Ruthard was the Lord of Malashoff are over. I don't want to have anything more to do with him, so you can be on your way.
He sends you his regards. And he asked me to remind you that he's still paying for masses for your family, as the two of you agreed.
Sakura. Nobody knows about that but him.
That's why he told me. So you'd be sure I really did come from them, and this isn't a trick?
Well, that changes things. Sorry for being a bit hostile-like, but times are tough. A man can't be sure of anything. Good to hear that Sir Kunzlin still has a few friends left. Give him my greetings, and thank him for still honoring our agreement.
Sure. I'll pass that on to him.
So, tell me, what did the Ruthard send you for?
I'm planning a certain enterprise. Something that the new lord of the castle certainly won't be happy about.
An enterprise, you say? I reckon it's best not to ask what that might be, eh?
That would be wise. And I need you to get fresh, fast horses ready for me.
That's quite a lot you're asking of me. A fresh, fast horse don't come cheap. But fine, since you're from Sir Kunzlin, I'll have it ready for you. Somewhere a bit further from here so I don't get in the shit if things go sideways.
Of course. The last thing I want is to endanger you unnecessarily. And the Ruthards promise to pay for the horse if it comes to any harm.
All right. So look, here next to the stud farm there's a kind of band of rocks below the forest. When you go alongside the rocks to the end, you'll find a wooded copse not far from the castle. There's a well-trodden patch of ground there, so that's where I'll have that horse ready for you. Hopefully, nothing will happen to him if I just leave him there. Recently, there's been wolves and wild dogs sniffing around here, so we have to watch out for the animals.
Thanks. I'm obliged to you.
You ought to be. I wish you the best of luck. I reckon you'll need it.
What's new here at Malashoff?
Nothing much. If you're looking for a job, try your luck.
Show me your wares.
I hope you find what you're looking for next time, good sir.